The Grandland loses the X in the name, but what does it gain in this new rework or facelift? Let's take a look. Opel Grandland or Vauxhall Grandland here in the Opel version, but there will be the same, of course. Here, the new Opel Vizor, it's called, like a stormtrooper, kind of closed, some kind of EV look as well. Usually the Opel logo is in chrome, but here in black, and this is standard for the GS line. So this is indeed this sporty GS line package we show you today. And also new lamps. Halogen would still be standard, but these here are the optional, or included in the higher trims, the matrix LED lights. Here the IntelliLux by Opel, very interesting and rare also in the lower price segments. We also have this whole dark design package here today. Fits very well to the gray color, and for example also the side mirrors there, the caps also in black, and we even have black wheels in 18-inch. You can get 17 to 19-inch wheels, so these are not even the biggest ones. They're actually a good compromise as for comfort and looks. The length of course has not changed, but here this black design package, also that right there for example, really impressive. So it's not the super sportiest vehicle, but I think this is a very sporty look for the Grandland, isn't it? Length, by the way, at 4.47 meters or 176 inches. This is of course unchanged, but design-wise I think already stepped up the game. Big Grandland lettering here now in the rear, pretty impressive. And as this vehicle started, and if you go for that in a base version or something, some say, oh, the Opel Granddad, you know, referring to the rather conservative old look. But now with the rework, and especially here in the black design package, I think it's rather grandson then, you know, definitely a younger and fresher look. Also here from the tail lamps and the signature on the inside, and once again the contrasting lower part here. So yeah, probably this is the coolest Grandland I've ever seen. I really love the color combination. What do you think, guys? Khaki, feels solid. Then door closing sound. Not bad, but also not premium. But then very nicely done here with soft touch on the inside of the doors. This is also soft, but it should be softer when you put your elbow on it on the long-term run. Yeah, that's not soft enough. Interesting detail is always this horn, because when you close it, then the door, it fits in directly there and supposed to have like less gaps, but no one looks down there when the door is closed, so it's more prominent when it's opened. So yeah, not sure why this decision. Steering wheel kind of standard. This is, you know, this rubber pad should be updated, I think. But what has been updated, completely new now, is this so-called pure panel, forming kind of like one element with two screens, always digital. Standard would be 7-inch left, 7-inch right. Here 12-inch on the left side, 10-inch on the right side, zoom more details to the screens. Let's now get inside. These seats here, by the way, quilting on the inside with fabric, very nicely done. Leather red on the outside, so animal-free seats. These are the optional AGR seats, so they bring you a little bit more comfort. And this is quite plush here, actually. You should just watch out to have the right setting right here. It is adjustable here from this angle. And I found extremely uncomfortable when it's up like this. Not sure who would drive like this, but tell me in the comments. I always prefer to have it rather low down in the front, and then they're also very nice and comfortable. And here this can also be put out. So yeah, great work here. And you have to think about this. The car starts here like in 27,000 euros in Germany, so a very decent pricing as it stands here right now. 30k something definitely. And then steering wheel, manual control, in and out, up and down. Yeah, the process doesn't feel too good. And also here, how the door columns, they move a little bit when I control the steering wheel. Yeah, these are some of the weaknesses of this vehicle, but we already have shown you a lot of strength as well. Headroom, let's put it all the way down with 1.86 or 6'1". Yeah, that's the sound. Plenty of headroom left. I usually pump the seat a little bit higher for more comfort, and you already have a grown-up SUV feeling, definitely. So VW Tiguan or the Ford Kuga are competitors of this one. Let's now take a closer look of this really completely new cockpit atmosphere. Now look at this pure panel from this perspective. Again, 12-inch on the left, 10-inch on the right. This is here the PSA Corporation style and also the infotainment system. Zoom more details to each of the screens. The looks is definitely cleaner than before, but then a lot of black piano lacquer use, and it kind of looks a little bit attached, you know, overall. You still have some hard keys, for example here for the volume, good to have that read, and also a mute button. And also here they went for a solution still to have manual climate knobs for left and right. I really appreciate that they did that. A lot of black panel like I use here, I think they should reduce that. In the front part there's for example 12-volt power supply and a USB-A supply. The gearbox is here in the manual style today, but it's amazingly crisp and also soft at the same time. So you have a very perfect feedback when putting in the gears. Love that. And then we have non-adaptive cup holders. You can also remove them completely, by the way, if you like. And the armrest here with a leather red cover and space underneath. And this is here the inductive charging pad. You secure your smartphone then with this smartphone seat belt. Apple CarPlay mode, here infotainment system. Then you have big bezels left and right, and sound system. Oh, it's a great song by Paul van Dyk, by the way. Not that crystal clear, kind of a little bit too low frequency heavy, I think, from the sound system. And this is then, you can always use the key. There's this trick like with 3 fingers, then you get to the hidden main menu, like in the Peugeot or Citroën vehicles. The GPS itself is somewhat okay, but definitely not the best. Also not too responsive, as you can see. So it's not the most special infotainment system. The own Opel infotainment system they use in the Insignia, for example, is way better than the PSA-based one, definitely. The digital instruments can be adjusted. This is like a mix view, and with a left stock column next to the steering wheel, you can set it to a full GPS map, so to speak, or you have like an assistant systems view and so on, or like this here with a bigger speed, or like this in a minimized view. What do you think? You also have this beautiful seat design here for the rear seats. And then let's take a look. Yeah, the sporty GS-Line on the outside is really cool, right, isn't it? So, interior here, legroom does work. So 4 tall adults proof, definitely. And you also have here in the rear a rather upright seating position. Yeah, you have to use the recess here when there's a tall driver, definitely, but works very well. Also headroom-wise, no problem at all. So this car is also family-proof. Isofix here at the outsides each, and in the middle you can put down cup holders, but these won't do good for the children because they are very shallow and not adaptive at all. Ski hatch is possible from here. Here in the lower part you have a real power socket. That's nice. 5x10 up to 1,650 liters. The button for the electric tailgate is placed a little bit lower. And then here, good dimensions, 1 meter or 40 inches in the width, and also, not quite in length, 35 inches or 88 centimeters in length. And the plug-in hybrid loses 120 liters, by the way. Here the normal petrol engine has space underneath here, and even more space than underneath here. You can of course then also put a replacement tire in that one. And folding the seats works from here. It's a good mechanism like this. And then the new Facelift not only offers night vision in the instruments at night, but also a good length. Here it's 65 inches or 165 centimeters to my driving position. Of course, if you want a little bit longer, here when you roll through the middle, thinking about transporting furniture, you can get to 2 meters or 79 inches. Welcome to Thomas's driving lounge here with the Opel or Vauxhall Grandland, new facelift version, and we have the small 3-cylinder 1.2 liter petrol engine. Let's see, is it still fast enough to accelerate on the motorway? 90 kilometers an hour. 3rd gear. It's 110, 120. I mean, yeah, you see, it doesn't bring you the best performance. However, it's a turbo, so you'll still be okay somewhat on the motorway. And what's also interesting, or even better, than acceleration is not that good. Yes, we have to live with that, definitely. But the noise insulation is very decent, so we can even go faster here. There's no speed limit. Let's now go 150 kilometers an hour, and it's very reasonably silent in here. And also the manual gearbox we have here, super smooth, and it's a lot of fun to shift as well. So you can of course also put it in a higher gear then for better fuel economy, but I mean, It's actually fun and crisp to put in the gears, but at the same time there's not much resistance or something. Steering, also good and precise handling, is actually quite soft. And here, for example, in lane change, very well to control. The steering wheel form maybe could be a little bit different or something. Oh, there's a BMW iX3. First time I see it here from a customer vehicle. Blind spot monitor is also here in the side mirrors. There's a small dot. It follows the French logic of the blind spot monitors that it only appears when the car is in the blind spot at the moment and not before. So not. This time it didn't. Why didn't it show this time? Yeah, I mean, I usually prefer the sensors which are being activated a little bit beforehand. So this is maybe a thing, but still, of course, good to have it. But as you see, maybe when you're a little bit off lane, and sometimes cannot show at all. But to me, best thing is that it's really actually reasonably silent here, and you have your upright seating position. So it's a very comfortable motorway vehicle, and you have to remember, it's not a big SUV, but still we already have good comfort. And even if we're in the higher gears, I mean, we can always shift back a little bit, like the 4th gear, and then hit the throttle. There's not much coming, but since we have this turbo, even this 3-cylinder, I would say, is capable of motorway driving. You will have more fun with the bigger engines. However, here you have this low entry price, and front-wheel drive only is also just fine for this vehicle. So if you ask me, can I buy this vehicle here in an entry-level version with the smallest petrol engine and lower trim level? Definitely. Not only you can, you should. That you have a very decent price, and that's also why we're doing this review here today, to finally present you also vehicles that are actually rather in a low trim level. Overview is also quite decent when I look to the rear, for example. B-pillar is quite thick, therefore you do need the blind spot monitor. That's of course a very helpful feature. So yeah, so far good result on the motorway. How the dashboard is oriented and the steering wheel to me looks a little bit offset. You see here, at the moment I'm running straight, but the dashboard leans more like this way a little bit and the steering is straight. So I would always say like this is straight to me, but then I'm driving to the right, you know what I mean? So I'm paying a lot of attention to that. We also see it a lot from Skoda Weeks, for example, for the Octavia. I don't like this offset kind of position. I always wanted to be a straight aligned with the dashboard. Is it just me? Tell me in the comments. Fuel economy, by the way, you can score some 7 liters on 1 kilometers, 34 mpg US, 41 mpg UK, which is not ideal. And you have to think about, you always keep it at higher RPMs, this very small engine. So small engine does not mean best fuel economy. It's more, again, the entry price. And I would really say it's powerful enough, especially when you're here at lower speeds, and now some agile driving. And they have to say, chassis-wise, feels good. Steering is also nice. The suspension is a good compromise. It gives you enough comfort. It's not set on a super sporty tone, not at all, but it doesn't roll too much. So I think they found a good suspension right here. And once again, I have to say, the manual gearbox, usually I say, yeah, you know, take automatic gearboxes, it's more comfortable and so on. But then it's always an extra price. And here, the automatic, the manual gearbox is so well done. I really love it, you know. So it's a lot of fun, and put in the gears, it gives you such a nice feedback that really contributes to a very good and pleasant driving experience. And here you can see now how far I have to turn the steering wheel. Again, really precise. So you can have fun with that one. So everything hardware-wise, they have done a very, very good job. Software-wise, infotainment system-wise, I mean, it does look more sophisticated here also while driving, definitely, than before. But we've seen in the interior part, yeah, that it doesn't bring you such a sophisticated infotainment experience, definitely. Main competitors, I would like you to watch the video, definitely, of the VW Tiguan. And, you know, we have different versions of that. Or maybe if you think about also Ford Kuga, tune into that video.